Everybody, welcome back to the Bears Den. How is everyone doing today, guys? Hope things are going well for you today. Today, guys, it is Tuesday. It is talk show day. So, we're going to be kicking off tonight talking with Cool Von Rad, my good friend Alex. We've known each other since, third grade, somewhere in there. We have somewhat of a light list of things today, so we may actually get into some other questions, which is always nice. As always, guys, feel free jump in the conversation if you wish, and or at least point out things as well, because you're more than welcome to. Savage Dragon, welcome. How are you doing? Hope things are going well for you today. By the way, I sent you a friend request on Switch. Feel free to get to that at your leisure. But I think we are pretty much good to go. I think Alex is ready. Although, kind of funny, if you look at the multi-Twitch, he's still showing his intro scene, so I don't know what's going on with that. Or at least I'm seeing he's still showing his intro scene. So who knows what's going? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I will ask him. Wait, is he live? Yeah, he's live. Okay. So let's kind of start getting into things. Hopefully he's ready. If not, who knows? Oh, by the way, for those of you who were here yesterday, yesterday was a little bit of a weird day. We checked out two games, both of which were unique, I will say. Do Animals Dream, I would straight up give that like a 3, maybe. I mean, it's only like an hour long, if that. Speedrunners do it in less than 6 minutes. And then it's very pro-vegan, preachy, beat you over the head kind of attitude late game. So, yeah, not fun. As far as Mayhem in Single Valley, so far I would say 6, but we're still only like a little bit, or at least I'm still only about an hour into it, so it's kind of fun. I'm having fun with it. Weird, unique, but good. So that 6 could go up. If you guys want to see more of it, cool, let me know. If you don't want to see more of it, also let me know. I will be glad to throw it up on YouTube, and or at least hopefully throw it up on YouTube. But in the meantime, guys, let's get on with the talk show, shall we? As I said, we have actually quite a bit to talk about this week, so let's try seeing what all's going on.
Okay.
I think that was Alex's way of saying, "Hey, I'm ready."
I am ready.
Yes, I'm here too. Yeah.
Hello. How was your
Hello.
introduction?
Not bad. Yours. The better question is, are you still on your "Let's fucking go" screen, or have you switched off of it?
Oh, I sure am because I'm fucking stupid. Nope, I'm fucking dumb and I forgot to switch off of it.
Pro streams here, guys. Pro streams.
Good. Professional, right? Really, really good. Really well done. Thank you for that. I'm assuming that was Dragon probably saved me out of that.
No, actually, I just had I opened up the multi-Twitch and it's just like, why is he still in his intro scene?
Oh, I don't know. I was just talking. I was talking about my sinuses and shit. And
Oh,
like,
God, that's never fun.
I know. I was just, yeah. I don't know. I was just being generally gross and weird and stupid.
Yeah, the only good thing about your sinuses is when you eat like super spicy food, all of a sudden it's like sinuses. No, don't have any problem there because it's all just gushing out my mouth, my face now. So hey, not a problem.
And I love spicy food, so
oh yeah,
that's like
yeah.
that's a like I love it when you're like, oh my god, I can smell the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I ordered some jelly beans from Jelly Belly, which the Fiery Five is what it's called. It's a tin that has like a little spinner on it. So
Oh,
you just spin it and like, okay, that's the one you take. Except
oh,
I'm gonna be having it be a thing of, okay, someone subs. Oh, okay, well, spin and I have that one.
oh,
Super hot.
cool.
And like the flavors are like sriracha, jalapeno, habanero, Carolina Reaper, and I forget what the fifth one is, but it's another hot one.
Ghost, probably.
No,
Ghost
it's
pepper.
between habanero
Really?
and um Carolina Reaper. I don't think it's ghost
Okay.
pepper.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good to me. Like,
Yeah,
honestly, I'm one of those people. Like, I don't give a shit. Like,
yeah.
my buddy actually even makes homemade fresh hot sauce, and so
Ooh,
like, yeah, he like
nice.
legit showed up in my house the other day, and he was like, "Hey, I got these Carolina Reapers. Do you want one?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And he opened up like a grocery bag, like half full, and he was like, "Just take." And I was like, "All right." So he had just picked them out of his buddy's like house, and we did a fresh slice. Oh boy, just be careful. My butthole it wrote me a very sternly written letter after that. The next day, my anus was not pleased.
Come on,
So
ice
be
cream.
careful. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Wet wipes it is. Like that's gonna be the next 2 days. So be
just,
careful.
just grab the ice cream cone and yeah, we're not gonna eat it.
Jam
We're
it up my ass.
uh,
um. So,
high
uh,
class, high class content here, guys. That's
Oh,
what you get.
super good start. I
Yeah,
mean, talking about
yeah.
boogers right into my butthole, like this is classic Alex Quino territory right here. Bitching about my microphone and my mic quality. I am nailing it today.
Beat out the wrong scene.
Mhm. Thanks for the 50th follow, whoever gave me that. Really, really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. Um,
Now you know the quality content he makes.
yeah, it's true. You can stop by any time and ask. Um, uh,
And yet somehow
so
we're still friends after
I know.
I don't know how long. I mean, I still don't remember if it's second or third grade. I know it's one
I,
of those two.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would assume third because in second grade aren't you kind of still a moron?
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it was third because I remember like we like talked to each other. It wasn't just like putting because 2-year-olds you kind of just put down and they just kind of
Yeah,
do whatever. Like
yeah.
yeah, but I do remember talking to you, like having conversations. So
Hmm. And
um
not just like typical things at that time. It was like actual intellectual for that time
yeah, yeah, right.
conversations.
Well, yeah. Dude, Legos are better than Duplo. Like
Oh yeah,
Duplo.
hell
Like
yeah,
I'm just,
hell yeah,
I'm still gonna live on that fucking
yeah,
hill. Um, so start off with a Band-Aid rip.
yeah. Let's do
Okay,
it. No one likes it, but
so
let's do it.
I'm gonna start off. We're gonna talk about the Blizzard bullshit again. Just been a bunch of new updates and stuff. If you guys didn't know, Blizzard's been having a huge Activision Blizzard actually at this point has been
Yeah.
having a huge problem with sexual allegations. A bunch of just their company is basically imploding, and the employees are pissed
Mhm.
off about it with
Oh hell yeah.
very good right. Um, let's start on some good news of this. Jay Allen quit. That was the guy who basically gave us the "I'm sorry" when fucking
Hmm.
Warcraft 3 was garbage, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but it didn't change anything.
Yeah.
So you know what? Kind of fuck that guy. Like, good. I'm glad this was all happening underneath your watch. You should step down. You
Hmm.
clearly have no idea what's going on in your company. You know.
Yep. The question I have though is, okay, he's stepping down, but like, is there any sort of punishment for him? Like,
No. Well, of
yeah.
course
See,
not. He's the
so
CEO.
he's
Yeah.
effectively getting off scot free,
Right.
still having all his millions coming with him, and
Right.
it's like, okay, so you totally fucked up. You just, I could say a
Whatever. At least
lot
he's
of choice
gone.
things, and
But at least he's
yeah,
gone. You know,
true, true.
like maybe they'll get somebody who actually knows like what the fuck people want. You know, like
Eh,
not to
yeah.
have a hostile work environment. Like that's such a big ask.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Apparently that's like too hard to ask for.
yeah.
So,
Um, I saw a couple people were saying, uh, kind of talking shit about their. Did you see the press release that they put out regarding the entirety of what's going on?
Considering just about every other article looking through things was Blizzard this, Activision Blizzard
Yeah.
that. I mean, yeah, at this point we could play Blizzard Bingo, and like 2 seconds in, we'd get someone would be yelling bingo 5 times over.
Well, so the interesting thing was, I read it, and there was no mention of ending mandatory arbitration, which I don't know. Do you know what mandatory arbitration is?
Not right off the top of my head.
So basically, what mandatory arbitration is, and a lot of major companies have this, is when you sign your contract, you can. It specifically says in your contract if you wish to sue for sexual harassment or harassment of any kind, that you cannot go to a court. You must take it to the company first. They make their decision, and then they decide how much money to give you without a court being involved at all. That's what mandatory arbitration is. So basically, they can still keep it all in house. That's how major companies don't have things blow up in the media. Fucked up, right?
I'm wondering, how is that even legal?
Been legal forever. Any company can have that in their clause. And because when you sign on to work for a company, you're the one choosing that that's okay or not.
Yeah, that is true.
Um,
As far as like signing on to a company, that's true.
right, and a contract because that's what it is. It's a contract. Super fucked up. Okay,
Yeah.
so there was no mention of that. There was no mention of new hiring policies, um, being hiring more women of color, which was like their big sticking point. Non-binary was another one. No mention of that in the press release, of course. Why bother
Yeah.
mention about these things?
Yeah, really.
Um, no comments on pay transparency, which was another one that they were like, we would like to be able to see that this white guy ahead of me isn't making a scatio $1 billion more than me, even though you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even though they're doing like absolutely nothing compared to what I do, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But that's a man and he's 6 foot tall, so he makes $190,000 a year and you get 81,000.
Yeah.
So no mention of that. Which was also, I was like, man, wow. So just 0 for 3 of the things they were asking for,
Mm.
0 for 3. Yeah, real bad. But related note, another one that kind of makes me happy. T-Mobile kind of pulled kind of an awesome move. T-Mobile pulled out of their advertising deal with both the Overwatch League
Mhm.
and the COD League.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, I've noticed that Blizzard apparently has been losing a lot of sponsors for Overwatch. I didn't know about the COD League as well, but yeah,
Yep.
they're hurting, and people are finally getting to them, which is good.
Yeah. And honestly, it's the only fucking thing that these companies hear is the bottom dollar, you
Yeah.
know? They don't hear people, they just hear numbers, you know?
Yep. Well,
Um
like I showed everybody on stream yesterday, I pulled up my uh Battle.net installer
mhm.
and showed everybody every single
Uninstall.
game that they have on there. It shows the install button. So I have
Good for
nothing
you.
installed.
Good for you.
I just have the launcher, and that's just on a shred of a hope that things turn around.
Sure.
Plus, there are also friends on there that I would like to occasionally be like, jump on there and be like, "Hey, what's up?" kind of thing. So
Sure. Sure. Yeah, that good for you.
yeah,
Yeah, because we talked about this last week, but
oh yeah,
you do not have my money, Activision Blizzard.
oh yeah, yeah.
There's got to be some actual change before I give you a fucking dime.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that like really the first big move would be, dude, find somebody in the industry who has a bunch of industry experience and put them in a really key role. Like something where I can be like, okay, finally, somebody who is representative of, I don't even care. Pick one. Fucking, a person of color or a gay dude or a non-binary. I don't care. Somebody who actually gives a shit about the rest of the employees' opinions, because they kind of come from like a more understanding background,
Mhm.
you know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I feel like that'd be a huge step.
Oh god, yeah.
But no, it'll probably just be some fucking white guy again.
Yeah, yeah. As much as I hate to say that and agree with you on that, I totally, unfortunately, kind of have to agree with you on that. That's
Yeah.
probably what's going to happen.
And
Which
that
is
dude will
not,
be over 6 foot tall.
yeah,
Just a guarantee.
yeah. Although I will have to say this though, knowing Blizzard with what they've got so far as some executives, considering they've got executives like, so let me quick find the article here. Fran Townsend, a activism. I can't talk. Activision. Apparently, that word's too hard. Blizzard. Fran Townsend. She. This is the woman that way back during like the whole Guantanamo things like that, as far as when
Oh yeah.
waterboarding and all that was going on, was discovered having gone on there. She was pro torture, pro waterboarding, pro forced nudity for long extended periods of time, starvation, things like that. She was pro that. In order to get more information out of the interrogations that were held there. She's an executive at Activision Blizzard and says that there's a problem with whistleblowing, in that it's like you can't take action against the whistleblower. And it's like, the actual fuck?
Wait. She said you can't take action against the whistleblower? Because that's a good thing. Because you're not supposed to be able to like say like the whistleblowers
let me put it this way. In the context she was saying it, she's like, "Why can't we?"
Oh,
yeah,
well, fuck
yeah,
that bitch.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, this is kind of the mentality that they've got going, and
yeah.
On top of that, I also I didn't even read the article just because I was completely disgusted with the amount of shit coming out of Blizzard at the moment. I mean, at the moment, Blizzard, you might as well just call it left cheek, right cheek, and that's what's coming out. Is when you spread them, that's what's coming out of it. Apparently, there's a lounge that they have that has like a giant picture of Bill Cosby, and considering all the other things going on there at the moment and with what went on around Bill Cosby, it's like, really?
Wow.
Why
what are they working in the 1950s? Like fucking Mad Men? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Apparently.
Good God, man. All right.
Yeah, well, I mean...
that's fucking obnoxious.
Yes. I will drink to that being obnoxious.
Fuck those dudes.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get the hell out of here, because I don't want to fucking sit around this depressing piece of shit fucking story.
Please, we've now unfortunately spent a total of I want to say 40 minutes on Blizzard between last week and this week. So
easily, I think last week we almost spent 30 minutes. Like, it was
stupid. Oh man, I would have to go back and check, but I
don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to either.
I don't want to revisit. All right. So, you want to go next, since I started off with the bad shit, so you can...
sure. And I also actually snuck in that one thing that I had for Blizzard as well, so... Okay, before going into some Halo stuff, I'm just going to go in with a complete, total obscure thing. Final Fantasy X, main character that you play as in the beginning, Tidus. Apparently, he was originally... The original concept character for that, the design for that character, was a underwater plumber.
You know what the weird thing is? I actually love that idea. Like, I don't know why. I mean, we already have a plumber, I guess, so it's a me, but like...
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they decided not to go with it, because they were like...
Yeah, I mean, it's like... yeah.
And Nintendo does throw out lawsuits, like it's going out of style.
Oh, good lord, yeah. Plus... as far as the change that they made, though, as far as making him an athlete,
Mhm.
it's the first, and as far as I know to this day, the only character in any of the Final Fantasies that has some sort of athletic background to them. So it's like interesting. Either way, I just want to say apparently they liked Titus so much they just wanted to get him wet.
I mean, I get it. You got that brand new PS2 wet technology. Like,
And
I
meanwhile,
don't
I
know.
will let you. I'll let you guys figure out how dirty of a comment you want that wet comment to be. Hmm.
Leave a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I don't know. I think that's kind of a cool, like, honestly, like, I, if you think about all of the characters over all the games, there's never really been one main character at any rate that was kind of like lowly born, where it was kind of focused more about what he originally did. Because atypically it's like, okay, you're playing a character, the village gets burned down, his parents get murdered, and then he goes off seeking his justice. I don't hate the idea
Yeah.
of a character where it's like a work a day thing.
Mhm.
That wouldn't like better than Lightning Returns. Fuck, like,
I,
almost
I
anything is.
I've never played 2 and 3 of what was it,
Oh,
12, 13, 13. I've never played 13.2 and 13.3. And judging from what you kind of regarded there of 13.3, it's like don't even waste your money or time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did 1 and 2, and I got like halfway through 2 and was like, I hate everything about this. Like,
Okay.
it wasn't that game that Vincent starred in, but it was pretty close to being that bad.
Hmm.
Um,
I think the only character that I can think of right off the top of my head that is kind of like their background is being down in the dumps the entire time. Uh, Locke from Final Fantasy 3 US 6, the rest of the
sure,
world,
sure.
because he was a treasure hunter thief,
Mhm.
and he really never had it well off, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
He was kind of scraping by the entire time up until he met Terra and joined everybody else.
Yep.
So that's about the lowest as far as like, oh my gosh, everything's so horrible, kind of a character that we've seen that's been
But it never
playable.
really it never really like focused on him being a thief, right? Like basically like once Terra got in there, it was like, okay, now the adventure begins proper kind of a thing. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Um,
And even then, he wasn't like the main character you start with. That was Terra.
right.
So he was effectively, if you want to call it, effectively a side character.
Mhm.
Um, but
Good arc though.
yeah, oh god, yeah. I mean that game is one of the only games to this day where whenever I hear the closing theme to the game,
Mhm.
I actually tear up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like damn, because
Yeah.
that game just hits you right in the feels.
And honestly, because of like the yeah, I can't even talk about this game without like gushing because honestly, it's pretty great. Now,
Oh yeah,
are
yeah.
there a lot of missteps and boring shit that doesn't really lead anywhere? Yes. But overall, man, that was a fucking great story.
Oh
Like
god, yeah,
a little too long, of course, but that's a Final Fantasy game for you. But
yeah, yeah.
the change to like technomancy was really cool. I don't know. I come from a very hedge
Um,
my
the technomancy that they had at that point with the Magitech armors and things like that,
yep,
that I will say is good. With where they've gone to now
too
with
far.
15, that's too far.
I think that's
That's taking, hey, it's Final Fantasy in modern era. Oh, we have to somehow shoehorn in magic. So here you go. And it's like, huh?
I think that's why in 16 they're trying to go back to a more traditional
Medieval kind
medieval
of thing.
yeah, medieval
Yeah.
theme with magic and shit.
Yeah.
Because the closest they've done is obviously Final Fantasy 9, which again, I will say is my favorite. I love 6, 3, but 9 is my absolute favorite. It's got such good characters, got great arcs. Yeah, I don't know. Nine's fantastic.
Okay.
So it's nice to see him coming back.
Yeah, yeah,
And I don't mind if you want to, juxtapose stuff like from iteration to iteration. That's cool.
yeah.
Like innovation lies by changing things up. But
Especially considering how uh, pretty much every single Final Fantasy game is a standalone.
yeah,
You don't have to play, with the exception of like the 10-2, 13-2, 13-13, with the exception of those, because those are direct sequels.
right.
Every single iteration of Final Fantasy is a standalone. Now, yes, there are the MMOs that have expansion packs, but again, those are standalones. In the last expansion of Final Fantasy 14, Bloodstorm, God, why can't I? Stormblood.
Mhm.
The 8-man raids in that were kind of this weird thing because it was pulling from myth and legend of these long forgotten enemies and epic battles, and it turned out to be things like Exdeath from the final boss from Final Fantasy V,
Interesting.
and like all these other enemies that were like either what are considered uber bosses or final bosses or like main story fights during those games. And these are like legends and lore of these epic fights, and it's like that's kind of cool that they brought this back in this weird kind of makeshift virtual pulling from lore uh fight that they had inside Omega. And it's like, okay, cool.
See, because and it's funny too. I always assumed, and I don't know, I always assumed that Final Fantasies were taking place on different planets, even. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
just on the same planet, but 14 kind of almost implies that this is a planet who's gone through a shit ton of different cycles, all being within the Final Fantasy mythos. Like, that's kind of what it's implying.
Okay.
But again, how can you even take an MMO's word for it? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Um do you want me to tell you a little bit more of the lore on Final Fantasy 14, or do you want to just
No,
discuss it
because
off stream?
yeah, let's discuss it off stream.
Okay.
And I just started playing it. So I've been having fun just kind of like playing it,
Okay.
kind of going in completely blind. Also, real quick, super quick, it's my favorite kind of MMO because I literally don't have to talk to anyone. It's perfect. Like for me, I legitimately talk to nobody. I just go around and make my dumb jokes. I have fun by myself. And instances come up, I just walk in, the system just lets me join, and then okay, cool. Like I don't have to like worry about being in a guild or any of that shit. I guess I don't care to meet more people that in a game that I might not stick around in, especially.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
Totally
but yeah,
understandable.
I am enjoying it though.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Um, okay, so let's talk cheats. Um, so Ubisoft and Bungie are working on suing the exact same company named Ring One for distributing cheats for PC titles that are basically every, wall hacks, auto aim, all that shit.
Yeah.
So the funniest part was this part made me laugh. So as I'm reading the article, um, the they're doing this in the state of California because apparently that's where Ring One says that their business resides in.
Operates out of, yeah.
Yep. Um, so this is the part that really made me laugh. The three guys who are the heads, basically, of Ring One, the the article named them by their gamer tags first. So like it's run by Crypto, Aerithith, and I can't remember what the third guy's name was. And then it was their real names afterwards. I was like, in the fucking documentation that they were like gave the state of California, do you think they named them like that too? I kind of assume you would, right?
I would
Because essentially it's
think,
an alien
but at the same point in time, like if they're most times when they go by when the person goes by an alias, it's
or
like
a
okay,
handle.
or handle, they do it like the first name, the
Right.
alias, the last name. So the fact that they're doing it as the alias of first person, the alias of second person, alias of third person, and then the real names, it's like
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
Who's who again, please?
It made me giggle though, because I was just thinking of like, a judge like reading it. Are you crypto? Is that what I'm reading
Yeah.
here? And the guy's like, yes, that's me, Your Honor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want to get called up to the bench and it's like, Mr. Cool Von Rad, can you please rise? I'd be like, it was a thing that, you know what? Fuck it, I'll just stand. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Worse yet, some of the bad, horrible, funny, amusing, whatever you want to call them, names that I've seen in Final Fantasy XIV. Would Miss Big Floppycock please rise?
I'm looking for Major Muffins. Major Muffins, could you please rise? Major Muffins, could you please rise? Boom! Double-sided joke. Yes.
What you
Yeah,
didn't like?
but,
You didn't like Miss Big Floppycock please stand or please rise?
No, but I do like that. Food for life. Let's go.
Yeah.
Swish anime joke. All right, let's go. Um, I'm a big fan. I don't ever want to see. I don't want to see cheaters get anywhere in life.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
those people.
Yeah.
But and I usually don't root for big corporations either. But seriously, these people in the lawsuit is basically saying, the weird part is, so the lawsuit that they're alleging, they're not. It's not so much about the money that they're taking to sell the cheats.
Mhm.
It's actually pursuing them because of the fact that they're ruining player experience, which I thought was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's almost a cool way to fucking do it.
So they're kind of doing it in defense of
Us.
of the average player. That's actually smart of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Because seriously, everyone has run into a cheater at one point or another, playing whatever game or another, and it
Oh, yeah.
always sucks. It sucks ass.
Yep. The one thing I will say though is I can probably foresee them suing these guys and then turning right back around and saying, "Okay, hey, you guys found a way to break our anti cheat systems. Let us know information so that either we can better it or there may be a potential, like, at least short-term contract in your."
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there may be like at least a short-term contract in there coming their way if they actually fix things.
So that's that's what the difference is here. Ring 1 just sells cheat as if it is an open market, like the Unity store selling assets.
Oh,
The guys in Ring 1 did not make any of these cheats. They're just hosting a site where you can download and buy illegal cheats. They're not making anything,
okay.
which makes it kind of a legal gray area. And that's also why I'm assuming that they're going at it from that angle as opposed to the money angle, which it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
But being like, no, you're an eBay store ostensibly selling cheats, and then whatever I'm sure they take, whatever 20, 30, 40%.
Yeah.
And then the people who make the cheats are getting the remainder.
Right.
Which is super fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good place to start,
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
better than fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And seriously.
Yeah. Cheaters are fun if you have the right mindset, but most just suck. Yeah.
I mean, cheats could be fun if you were in a lobby with you and your friends, like it was a custom, and you're just like fucking trolling your friends. But don't. Ugh.
Yeah. When it goes from crossing the line of just either having fun in a solo game by yourself or trolling with friends, when it crosses that line from there to annoying random other people in the player base or doing like competitive doing illegal things in speedruns or various other competitive areas, namely word.exe. Right. Does that ring a bell?
Right. Oh, yeah, sure does. And by the way, that guy was so stupid. He was trying his best to like stop it, like as it was happening.
Yeah.
He was like, oh! Like, the guy was like, the moderator was like, stop touching the keyboard. And he was like, not a good look, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So you wanna go?
Alrighty. Kind of go with another one, a little one. This is kind of in that same vein of cheats, but not really. GTA Online, they came out with another update, the tuner update. So they added in like street racing, things like that. And why my nose is so itchy all of a sudden right now, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Cocaine.
You found me out.
Finally, after all these years, I finally have my proof.
But no, they came out with the tuner update. And apparently this runs off of a leveling system for reputation. So obviously, the higher the reputation level you have, the more things unlock for you as far as like chrome rims and bottles of NOS and things like that. I don't know what all's in it. I didn't look that deep into what's in the update and whatnot. But apparently it is asininely difficult to level up because you can't just go to where these street races occur in a lobby and just stand around and be AFK the entire time while racking up XP. You actually have to be actively moving when these street races occur. So what players are doing is they're taking rubber bands and putting them on the joysticks.
Classic.
Yeah. So there's whole lobbies where there's street races going on and people are just like, and I mean, it's weird because most things they say you unlock it by level 100 for most things.
Okay.
The system goes all the way up to level 1000.
Yeah.
And the rate that it goes up for each level, it goes like they were saying that effectively like mid 600s it would be a thing of you get to a location, start running in circles, go AFK, and if you come back tomorrow you might have a level. And it's like, damn, that's fucking nuts.
I understand where they're coming from, but you know how, like, dude, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That you have to like rubber band a controller. Like, what am I playing? Fucking NASCAR? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not good design wise. I know why they do it. They do it because they want you in the door, right?
Yeah. Oh
and they
god,
want
yeah.
you to stay as long as humanly possible. But there's a difference between
getting
like,
people in the door and wanting to be there versus getting people in the door because they have to be there to unlock, oh hey, I now have a steering wheel for my car, yay, I'm only level 20.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy actually. I also have a DLC thing.
Okay,
want to talk about that?
Yeah.
It's not like a big deal, but it is kind of in a way because I really like this game. Outer Wilds is getting a new DLC. That's gonna be on September 28th. And it looks pretty cool. You know, I can't remember what it's called. Something about eyes. But it comes out on the 28th of September. And I like the Outer Wilds. I think that's a really, really fun ass game, to be honest with you. I mean, it's definitely like Fallout, but not Fallout because it put a mustache underneath its nose. So it's not Fallout, but it's, you know, wink, nudge, like. But the system is pretty much Fallout. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's been a really, really long time. I guess they ended up working on it for like obviously pandemics. They ended up working on it for a lot longer than they thought they were going to. But it's nice to hear that if you're into the Outer Wilds and they just announced it, that the 28th, you don't even have to wait that long. And bing, bang, boom, new DLC.
28th of September.
Yep, September.
Okay, so a little bit of a wait, but not that long of a wait, kind of a thing.
Yeah, not that bad.
Because it's only August now. But
a month and a half though.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's straight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with that.
Just out of curiosity, what platforms is Outer Wilds on? Just
Everything, every
everything.
single thing,
Ooh,
every single
interesting.
thing.
Interesting.
So whatever your preferred method of getting your gamer fucking needle in, you can go and find Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
Although I will say that if you have Game Pass, it is
It's
absolutely free on both Xbox and PC. So if you even want to just check it out, Game Pass, $15. You could probably beat that whole game in a month and be done with it. So,
okay.
uh,
Cool. Cool.
I mean, as long as you're not doing every single side story. Because I mean, it is New Vegas ostensibly. I mean, it's Obsidian, the same guys who made New Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of content. But yeah, $15 free. Come on.
Cool.
Can't beat
Very
free.
cool. Very cool. And meanwhile, Blue Spoons, I just want to say that "Oh my God" soundbite was perfectly timed. Well,
Oh my god.
well, I asked you what platform was it on. You said it was on everything, and then the
No.
the Angry Birds "Oh my God" as he was launched from the catapult and played.
Yeah.
So it's like, yep, that was perfectly timed.
Nice. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. You want to go next?
Sure, we can. This is
Or can we give me 1 second so I can go pee and grab a beer? Would that kill anyone's soul?
oh, you killed my
You know
soul.
what? You could even if you got like a small, light, fun one, I could just jump back in and you can still talk to stream.
Sure, why not? Why not?
All right, fucking yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay. So as far as like continuing in our updates, DLCs, whatever you want to call it, theme we're going in right now. One thing that I kind of find a little interesting, Niantic, Pokemon Go, Pokemon. Yes, I don't play Pokemon for a living. I've finally now played one no, actually no, this is the second Pokemon game I've actually played. First one I've quote unquote finished. I don't know if you can technically finish a MOBA, but whatever. Pokemon Go by Niantic. They apparently are ignoring players in regards to a rollback that they recently did, considering the whole COVID thing going on at the moment. They've gone back and originally when COVID was flaring up all over everyone's crotch and like that, all over the world, it basically was a thing of they put in a update into the Pokemon Go and they made the requirement for distance to be double what it was. Talking about Pokemon Go and a update that Niantic rolled back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
How they're kind of ignoring the player base as far as the player base's request to keep it in. They're rolling back the intentional update they put in during these COVID times of doubling the distance required. So they're now undoing that. So you now have to once again get close to people, and it's kind of like, I mean, yes, vaccines are getting out there to everybody who wants them and is taking them and like that. Cool, great.
You mean non-sociopaths?
Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna go there.
Little too political. Sorry, I'll back that up a notch.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, in general, it's like, okay, we're still in that time though, where especially with all the variants, it's like we're still in that time where like it's spreading quite rapidly and resurging, and it's like, keep that shit in there, please.
To be fair, they also tried to do this back in, I want to say May. They did the same thing, and the community uproar was so big that they ended up within the day, in fact,
re-implementing it. Okay,
fade away from everybody and yada yada.
Cool.
So we'll see. Because they are pretty good about listening, especially with a community like Pokemon Go, where I mean, what was that? 20? Oh my God, was it 2016 when that came out? It almost had to be.
I think, yeah.
God.
Wow.
Oh God. I'm having like an existential crisis real quick. Oh God. So much time's passing and I'm not even noticing it.
Uh, oh well. Are you Googling when did Pokemon Go come
I
out?
am. Just because I just want to make sure that I'm not like launch. Okay. I'm just gonna click this button and not freak out. Ah, fuck. It was July 6th, 2016.
Oh jeez.
Holy shit. 5 fucking
Time
years have
time
passed already.
yeah.
That game still feels like it like just came out.
Yeah.
Um
Ugh.
But so that game's been out for 5 years. It's even cool to say that they still have a community. Because
Yeah.
that was a really fun summer. To be completely honest with you, that was a really fun summer. And that the community seems to be cool, safety conscious people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that is nice to see.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, hell, I remember when it first came out, hearing stories of like people walking down the street and not trying to stereotype here, not trying to throw shade on people or ethnicities or anything like that, but like a couple walking down, like a married couple walking down the street, and all of a sudden they round a corner and there's like 5 black guys there or something, and they're like, "Oh my god, hey, if you guys play Pokemon Go, there's a Charizard or something right over there." And they're like, "Oh, really? Cool." And it's just like total surprise to people.
That summer, me and my girlfriend at the time, my roommate and his girlfriend at the time, there was something that we have a graveyard right behind my house, and it has a Pokestop and a Poke Gym, but you can't like there's like a big fence, so you have to walk around. So we were walking around, and there was like a 13-year-old girl who was just walking, but she had her phone in her hand, and we were like, "Are you playing Pokemon?" She was like, "Yeah." And we were like, it's like 12:45. You shouldn't just be walking around. And she was like, "Well, I know, but like, and I was like, "Well, there's all of us. Why don't you just walk with us?" She was very nice. We walked there. We went to the Pokestop. Everyone got their fucking Pokeballs. We fucking did a gym challenge. And then we walked her back to the main street because my street's like
An
a
off
side
street.
street.
Yeah.
By the way, my street has no street lights.
Damn.
None.
Damn.
13-year-old girl walking around at fucking 12:45, no street lights. Like, so we walked with her, we all played, we talked about, who's I was in Valorant, like fucking, we talked about all that shit. And then we just walked her back to the main street and we were like, "Okay, have a good night. Please be safe. Don't do shit like this again, because you don't know that like the next group you run into isn't like not serial killers.
Shady fucks. Yeah.
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 So, but it was a fun time because, that's cute.
Of course, on the other hand, though, you never know. She could have been carrying quantum physics books.
Right, exactly.
And at which point it's like
Will Smith would have shot her in the face. And
yeah.
all would have been well.
Yeah. Thank you for getting the joke.
Come on, you can't. There's no nerd joke that will ever slip beyond me.
The real question, though, I do have to pose this to you. Seeing how you mentioned there's a graveyard right behind your house and like that, was there like a Haunter, Ghastly, Gengar, anything like that there?
No, because the
missed opportunity.
I know, but it's super super small. The graveyard itself, like it's like a Tetris L piece.
Okay.
And the most recent like gravestone that I've ever seen in there was like the 1980s. There's ones in there that are so worn down. There is nothing on them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's been there for a very long time.
Of course, I will also say, on the other hand, though, Niantic, at first when Pokemon Go came out, there were some locations where Pokemon stops and gyms and like that were not really appropriate
Right.
places, so they may have gone in and corrected some of those.
Yep, that's true. I mean, I haven't played Pokemon Go in 3 years, so for all I know, yeah, maybe they did. But yeah, not back then. It was still just, here's a bunch of grass type bullshit, and I was like, great, fantastic.
Yeah,
fucking Spearow. Yay! I'll just add this to the fucking. I'm making a fucking coffee table. This is all Spearows. Like,
couldn't you like grind them up into like candies for other? Yeah, it's like another one for the pal. Here's Spearow I actually like. Have a candy.
No,
it's
it
like
didn't even matter. It was so bad.
Ugh.
And for a while, when they were readjusting like the placements of everything, there was a bunch that spawned in my house. That was great. because then I just like walk into my bathroom and be like, "Hey, a Lickitung, boom, nailed it, 10 out of 10." That was awesome.
Nice.
Oh, speaking of Pokemon, let's talk Unite.
Yeah, why not? Why not? The one thing I will say with Pokemon Unite is it's a weird amalgamation of Pokemon and MOBA. It's, from what I can tell so far, it doesn't have a lot of the element types as far as being better than other element types.
It's intended to do that. There
Oh,
is none.
okay, so I mean, it's seeming like it's Pokemon Light meets MOBA Light, which is kind of a weird market to be in because you're not really going to get the hardcore Pokemon players, and you're probably not going to get the hardcore MOBA players. Again, you. Um, but the interesting thing though is like I really haven't played much in the way of MOBAs. I haven't played much in the way of Pokemon games. Like this is the Pokemon Unite is the second Pokemon game I've played.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And the first one was I forget if it was red or blue. And I didn't even finish it.
Wow.
Yeah. So just to give you a weird kind of fact there, it's like this is the second Pokemon game I've played. It's one of like a handful, well, not a handful or a handful of MOBAs, but
Two fingers full.
no. Um, but I'm actually playing this occasionally, like pick it up, play a couple of matches, put down, kind of a thing.
Sure.
Because each match is 10 minutes, period. Because it's just, okay, go 10 minutes, whoever has the higher score, that team wins, period. And it's kind of fun. Now, they've already applied a patch, and apparently, I forget which one it is, but it got nerfed.
Oh, the
Eldegoss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eldegoss is no longer the murder healer, apparently, and Charizard got a buff. So,
Yep.
kind of good for Charizard.
For me, I have it. I downloaded it. You're right. It doesn't scratch any of my itches, right? Like, and there's like a slight, and I know that they're trying to course correct, but there's kind of a slight like pay to win element, and I fucking despise pay to win.
Yeah.
So like instantly I was like, oh god. Which is funny because you'd think that like for me that should be a home run. It's funny that like the Pokemon Company and Niantic and Nintendo don't really understand that like dude, a lot of us grew up playing Pokemon.
Mhm.
So at this point you have dude, I'm fucking 42 years old and I still like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a whole generation behind me of 30-year-olds who grew up on Pokemon, and you're not catering to them either. Like, so it's like they're so stuck in like the Japanese Nintendo thinking that it's still only for kids, but it's like, man, it's so not anymore. Like,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, I guess you're losing customers because you're just aging us out at a point, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But to be fair, I still downloaded it. I still checked it out. You know,
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. Yeah. Free download, which is always nice. I mean, free is one of our favorite four-letter F words.
Mine's. Nope, not gonna do it. I was like trying to think of something really filthy, and fuck does not even fall in that category.
No.
But it's more Pokemon news. Pokemon Snap is getting a free update, which is really cool. Adding 20 new Pokemon and new courses. Now they didn't say how many new courses, but since it's pluralized, I'm assuming it's at least two.
Two? Yeah. Makes sense.
So that's cool. So if you played and beat Pokemon Snap and you're like kind of like, well, I'm kind of done and I didn't really want to do any of the like the challengey stuff. I'm not a 100% netter. Then you can go back in and still check out 20 new Pokemon for free, and that's cool.
Yeah. I just read a comment that Savage made when we were talking about Pokemon Go there. Yeah, like a 18-year-old walking into a strip club trying to catch a Jinx. It's
like
wow.
To be fair, I'd probably be like, all right, in and out. You just got to keep your eye on your phone the whole time. There's pasties, whatever. I'm sure it's not bottomless.
Of course, considering a lot of Pokemon Go players at the time, they had their eyes on their phone anyways if they were walking into a strip club. So it's like, what's the difference there?
And a lot of my friends even probably would have looked like meerkats, even though they were of age to go to a strip club. Like, dude, just throw the ball and let's get out of here. Jesus. You've never been to a strip club before? Are you fucking new here?
Yeah, who knows?
All right, after you.
Uh,
We still got a couple of really choicey, tasty pieces of fucking news to go over here.
yeah, I mean, we've kind of, it's weird this week. We've gone through an hour already, and
Oh yeah.
we've done the huge Debbie Downer, and we're like taking all the little itty bitty things to start climbing back up, kind of a thing, which is cool. Because that means we have the big things coming up still. But I'm going to take a little one real quick here.
I'll get the big one on the next one.
Okay. Genshin Impact.
Oh, yeah.
This is kind of funny. Like, huge player base. Fans of it are ravenous, it seems. And apparently they're so ravenous and the player base is so huge to the point of the official Discord has hit its max.
800,000.
800,000 people. Yeah.
To be fair, it is free to play, and
True.
those are mad waifus.
True. Now, like we were talking a little bit pre-stream here, it really doesn't hit me as far as a, hey, I have to play it kind of a game. If I did play it, it would be a, hey, I'm playing it to check it out, but it really wouldn't, like, capture my interest, especially from the main reason why a lot of players play it, for the waifus.
You'd be looking for berus, is what you'd be looking for.
Yes.
I wonder if there is a term for that. I'm sure there is in Japan, I'm sure, right? But berus is
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, if it's not, we're making berus.
Berus?
Yeah.
Or we could just call them bears.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's got to be the Japanese, so it'd have to be WU at the end.
Yeah, okay.
Berus. That's a cute ass term.
Yeah.
I'm not in the Genshin Impact, but my buddy Will, he plays a lot. He really likes it. It's not really even so much about the waifus thing. It's more about he just wanted to kind of play a free Breath of the Wild kind of thing.
Okay.
But he really likes it. He ended up spending. He was like, oh, it's okay. I mean, I played like, I don't know, 80, 90 hours in it. Like, I don't think you know what okay means.
I was going to say 80, 90 hours and you're just sitting there saying, oh, it's okay?
It's okay.
I mean, right now, I one of the games I played yesterday, Mayhem in Single Valley, I could say that's okay. I've played an hour.
Sure.
Like, on a 1 to 10 scale, I would say it's a 6.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I would even say 3, 4, right? Like, that's okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
80 hours. That's a work week plus times 2.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the hell.
But that is cool though. And good for the fucking team too, right?
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
You ended up making that's
Yeah.
really good.
And the funny thing is though, they're starting a second official Discord for Genshin Impact. And last I saw, they were at like 150,000 people on there already. And they were predicting that like by the end of either this week or next week, I forget, they would probably max it out again. Yeah.
Man, that's viral shit for you right there. That's fucking top.
But the thing is though, it's like, okay, how many of it are people in the first one going over to the second one for when new people come in and want to talk to them as well? So,
but even if you go, hey, if each one of these dudes put in $1 into this,
oh, good lord, yeah,
that's $800,000.
Yeah,
you know, That's $1. And I guarantee that's not what the metrics are, at the end of the day. I'm sure many, many of those people have put in many, many more dollars. And there's probably a
Oh god,
couple
yeah.
that just freebies, they just play for free and enjoy it as much as that and out the
Yep.
door. But still, that's really cool.
Yep.
Also, I didn't even know Discord had a max before the
Yeah,
site
I
built.
didn't either. It's like, damn, 800,000? Shit. That's insane, to be honest.
Little juicier nugget we can talk about.
Go for it.
All right. So this is super crazy. I had to click on it. The title was not all that great. But basically, there was an article in China from the Economic Information Daily. That is a legit publication in China called the Economic Information Daily. Wow, those dudes care. And they said in the article, basically, they called video gaming spiritual opium and an electronic drug. I would like to place this out there before we continue on this conversation. The Economic Information Daily is one of the many government-run publications in China, because as we know, China is communist. So they, their whole gig is different. They don't have independent news sources in a lot of mainland China.
Yep.
So they say that video gaming, and it is quoted as spiritual opium. The company Tencent, do you know who they are?
I've heard of it. I can't recall what they've done right off the top of my head. I've heard of it, though.
So Tencent is like this huge fucking mungus video game corporation, but they're not like traditional like what we're thinking of. They're more like a backer for several games and companies. Actually, as a matter of fact, they have stakes in Activision Blizzard. They outright bought PUBG. So they are basically China's biggest video game corporation. Today, when that came out, basically the government deriding video games, Tencent took an 11% drop in stock.
Oof.
Dude.
That's the shoe. Yeah.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about it is it's like, because their culture there is so different. Did you know that there was a bill in 2018 put forward in China that if you have a show on TV in China that is basically grouped under youth, so Peppa Pig or what's the one with the tiny adorable Mexican girl? Dora.
Dora? Yeah.
Yep. That this bill came up where you couldn't even show video game consoles or PCs at all to any youth-based show.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was really fucking crazy. And it's such an eye-opener when you think about it, when you look at it from the perspective of what we have in, non-communist countries. It's crazy. What's up?
I'm like, Tencent, that's familiar. I don't know why, but I did a quick Google searching and found out why. Funcom.
Yes. Also Funcom.
Yeah.
Yep.
I used to work for Funcom, and right after, well, not right after, their first, Tencent's first investment into Funcom was in September 2019, so quite a while after I left, but still.
Yep.
Like if
they've got their fingers in a lot of pies.
Oh God, Lord, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the wiki page right now, and it's like Riot, Funcom, Leu, Shark Mob, Supercell, Grinding Gears Games, Epic Games, Pocket Games, Fat Shark, I'm trying to just pick out the. Okay,
Ones.
I misread that. I was about to say Butthole Studio, but no, Bluehole Studio. Misread it there for a moment.
Butthole Studios. I might invest in that. Boom. Set it with a couple girlfriends. Bam. All right.
Discord.
Yep.
I mean, so Ubisoft, Paradox, Clay Entertainment. I mean, Platinum Games. I mean, they've got their fingers in everything. It seems,
as the Monarch would say, they've got their fingers in a lot of sinister soups. Yes. Like that is a lot of places. As a matter of fact, the Riot thing. Do you remember last year how the Hearthstone championship? It was 2 weeks before the championship. One of the kids was a Hong Kong player from Hong Kong. Hong Kong is different than China because they actually are technically free, but they've been having a lot of problems with basically China trying to reincorporate. And he removed his mask and he said, "Free Hong Kong forever." And so instantly Riot was like, that guy's gone and he's not getting any of his fucking winnings. And then everyone bitched and finally they gave him the money back. And like, yeah, it's crazy how much that touches so many things that we know and love and so many companies that we know and love. That's why you got to do your research, kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I just thought that was fucking really crazy. And seriously, one mention in a governmental paper, and they lost 11%. Like, that's nuts, dude. Yeah. That's a multi-billion-dollar company losing, let's just call it fucking 11 million fucking dollars, like, just on that. Right there.
Yep.
Also, spiritual opium. Really? What are you, fucking Shakespeare with that?
Okay, if video games are spiritual opium, then I'm gonna start praying to RNGesus and open the the Church of RNGesus here.
I already do.
Yeah. Well.
You ever play XCOM? 99% to hit, you whiff.
Darkest Dungeon.
100%
to hit, whiff. Wait, it said 100%. How did I whiff?
That literally said 100%. Oh yeah, you didn't know about the 110% mod? Like, fuck, man.
Exactly.
Fuck this game.
Fuck you.
That is okay. I'm gonna blame that one on Yog Shogoff. All right, the old ones, the ones that made that happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, aside from going, I've got 3 left. Actually, no, I've got 4 left. Sorry.
Me too.
Okay, cool. One of which I know we both, well, 2 of which I know we both have. So before we dive into one of those, I'm gonna go with one that I know you don't have, or at least possibly. So apparently, Xbox is getting a new controller for the Xbox One X.
That.
Yeah, this is the first shiny controller.
Can you bring a picture of it up so we can put it on stream?
Sure.
Because it really did. Like, I saw it and I was like, "Fuck, that's dope looking." There we go. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is, and this is actually not just, oh hey, it's a new color scheme for the controller. There's something new to it too. This right here.
Ooh.
That's a textured rubber piece, and it's not like it's not just rubber that's like glued to a plastic frame. That's rubber through and through, kind of a thing, like a harder rubber. Because they tried this in the past on the first gen of Elite controllers, and the problems that they were having was the rubber was separating off of the hard plastic frame. So this is effectively Elite controller version 2.0 kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So it's definitely interesting. I've kind of been holding off on actually getting a new controller because, I mean, hell, I'm still rocking the wired 360 controller.
Ugh.
Yeah, like I said, well, I mean, it's getting to a point where the zero spot is drifting bigger and it's like, god damn it.
Yeah.
So
I also just I genuinely I think this is a sexy color scheme.
yes,
I think that literally looks badass.
mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah. And it's got the Elite D-pad too. I didn't even notice that.
yep.
Huh,
That's
really
why
dope.
they're kind of, or at least in the article here on Kotaku, they're effectively dubbing it Elite 2.0.
Oh, that's really dope.
So
Yeah.
that is definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
The thing I'm kind of curious of, seeing how you can kind of tell it's crosshatch textured here. What I'm wondering is how much of a magnet that's going to be for dirt and oil and gunk. Because yeah, I mean,
Just use rubbing alcohol if that's the case. If it bugs
true,
you, you
true.
know.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it doesn't really bug me because I mean, I've cleaned the little seams on my controller that
I do
I
the same.
have
I do
numerous
the same.
times.
Yep.
So
Also, it makes me every time I do that, I go, God, humans are so fucking disgusting. They're just dying everywhere, just leaving my little bits. It's so fucking gross.
yeah, but
Yeah, it's really dope though.
it's a Aqua Shift. I think that it's called Aqua Shift is this new color scheme, which is a shiny blue face here with a more solid blue back and top there, and then the rubberized swirled
Hey, buddy.
blue for rubber grips there. And apparently, I guess the triggers and the bumpers, from what I quickly read, are also textured as well.
Ooh, that's nice.
So that's also another very nice upgrade, as far as making those bumpers and
Grippy.
triggers grippy as well.
Yeah. No, that's nice.
So
That is nice. And honestly, like I buy for just like sex appeal, like a lot of times. Like I know that's bad to say. I am a victim of marketing, you know what I'm saying? And that is slick as fuck looking. That is slick as fuck looking.
yeah, it is. It is. So
All right. Well, that was good.
yeah, yeah.
So, you want to talk about a slight bummer drummer thing?
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
The fucking Sega in fucking Akabara is closing down after 28 years. 20 years. And I
Yep.
understand that obviously a big part of it had to do with, the regulations from this quarantine. Like, but man, dude, oh, it sucks to be losing things that are like, I am never going to be able to go there. I have never
Yep.
been to Japan, and that in Akabara, it was like one of the things I wanted to go and like check out all the fucking places on this trip. And that fucking Sega arcade had been there for 28 years.
September
And
20th.
I had read that location was used a lot of times as a test bed for future games in the arcade. So when a new fighting game isn't even out, they would put it there to see what people thought, to hear what they thought about the balance, what they thought about the basic concept. Damn, dude, that sucks.
Now, okay, because I've read the same article you did. Yes, it does suck, especially considering it's a 9-story tall arcade that Sega has run for 28 years, as you mentioned. Obviously, COVID has definitely hit them hard. The good thing, though, is they're closing it not because of lack of business. They're closing it because the lease that they had on the building is coming to an end, and the building is scheduled for renovations. So it could be a thing of Sega effectively picks up, finds a new location, and moves to there. It could be a thing of they move out of there, the building owner, whatever company, renovates it and then re-signs the lease, and Sega moves back in. We don't know. But the simple fact of it's really sad.
History.
yeah, a huge piece of history is going to be missed. And like you said, a lot of us who have known about it forever, and we won't ever be able to go see it.
Right. Right.
It just sucks.
And like, man, I hope this isn't indicative of a lot of other arcades that are there.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Namco one. If that, like, good lord, man, like this is like literally shit that like I wanted to go and see my entire life, you know, being a fucking white weeb that I've been my entire life basically. Like I like that would really suck, man. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just it's one of those things. And you know, even if they do move in down the street, they're like losing whatever ghost farts are in that like location.
No,
You
no,
know?
no. The ghost farts are in the Namco one.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more seating there because there
Yeah,
are a lot of racing games.
yeah, that's
Um,
true too.
it's just one of those things where I'm just like, damn, dude, fuck. And I saw that they were like, oh yeah, no, it had been before the pandemic. It had been picking up a lot more business because they opened a Pocky and a restaurant
Yep,
like in the on the first floor,
yep.
so that just the generalized tourists would come in more, even if you didn't have as much of a care about the arcade. And they were picking up business there. It's like, God damn it, son of a bee sting! Like,
Hmm.
you know, this is why we can't have nice things, fucking universe.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely sucks, unfortunately.
It
But
does, but you know, maybe you're right. Maybe you are right. Maybe they reopen it in the exact same location, and it's just completely remodeled and just looks. Because do you remember like way back in the day? This is gonna be a throwback to people from Binghamton. Anyone who wasn't from there, you can probably just shut up for like 2 seconds and not pay attention to us. Um, way back in the day, we had an Aladdin's Castle in our Johnson City Mall, and it used to be it was a brown space, and it was L shaped, and it was just brown, like it was
yep.
1980s arcade. The way your mind is thinking of it, that's what it was. Um, and they shut it down for like I don't know a month or two, and then they brought it back up, and that's when I started working there when it became all blue.
Hmm.
And they made it look brighter and like less intimidating.
Less seedy.
Um, yeah, less seedy, exactly. But I hated it. I was like, damn it. Like I like my dark dungeon where I play my fucking fighting games, you know?
Hmm.
Like, you know, so
Yeah.
there's always something to be said.
Yep.
Both
Yep.
sides, I guess.
Uh, Especially
Uh
considering it's been there so long, they actually refaced the building, the outside of the building. I want to say the article said it was like 3 times,
yeah,
and like each time it was like completely different facades that were put on it, and it's like, oh man, it just
yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
But
yeah. It just sucks to lose history like that, you know, especially because the normies don't care about our history.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Video game history, normies don't give a fuck about our history.
yeah,
We're not gonna get a fucking plaque from like the city council saying this is a historic land site ever.
yeah,
Like that's just not gonna happen, which is really unfortunate because it's like, you know, tearing down the fucking buildings that like literally started things. Like shit, you could even be a jerk and be like, dude, you tore down the Phantom of the Opera building in Hollywood and put up a Jaws ride. Really? That was the oldest working set in Hollywood. All right, fuck it.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop nerding out about shit like this. But seriously, for the love of God, take as many photos as you can, kids, because that shit is not gonna be there forever.
Yep.
That was me.
Yep. Okay. In that case, I will grab this one and Halo Infinite.
Ooh yeah.
Yeah. They've done some. I don't know if it's been betas that they've been doing over the weekends. Past couple of weekends, I want to say, either open or closed. I don't know the finer details, but closed. Okay. But apparently the bots in it. Yes, there are bots in multiplayer matches. They've gone from pants on head retarded to oh my god, make it stop, it hurts. And from everything that they were indicating in the articles that I've found about this, they're leaning towards keeping them the oh my god, it stops, make it hurt, make it go away difficulty. So when this goes live, bots will hunt you down and they will kill you in the game.
I think the other thing that I found really interesting about that was I don't know the reason that originally they were saying they were going to do bots is if people drop, then they're just going to fill the space.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, which is not the worst idea in my opinion
Yeah.
because less players means less kills, means the games get dragged out longer, you know.
You see more
And I
matches
would
going time limit, and that's
right
never fun.
verse kill limit.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't care. Like that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't really see an issue with that. If they're gonna make them good, if they're
Yeah.
gonna make them fucking stupid as shit, I don't want them in there because
Yeah.
that means that the like you know the mouth breathers at the bottom of the scoreboard are just gonna be taking kills off of them.
hmm Now, the one thing I do want to kind of put in there as well, as far as with the difficulty of the bots, to have them all be like mercilessly running around hunting down, killing like the elite of the elite in Halo PvP matches, then it's like, okay, what does like Joe average people stand versus these things? Little to none. So it's kind of like, yes, it's good to make them challenging, but also at the same point in time, it's kind of like read the room. If you have a lobby full of Joe average people in there and one of them drops, if you're going to fill it in with a bot, don't fill it in with the Terminator who's just going to mow everyone down and then take the win. If possible, have a range of difficulties so that way it's like, okay, you have a lobby full of Joe average people, one drops, put in a Joe average bot, so that way
I,
there's not a imbalance in difficulty kind of a thing.
I wonder if because I know that the bots had been inserted prior to this, and everyone was like they are dumb as bricks. So I wonder if you're exactly right. So let's say that you are a level 36. I'm just picking numbers. Um, the system goes, okay, that's below average. So we'll put a bot at 4 level of difficulty. But if I at level 96 drop, if it goes, all right, well, we'll put it in a 9 AI difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fine by me.
Yeah.
That would be fine by me. Plus, I come from old school Halo. Get good. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's a shit thing to say.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but fucking seriously, make your shots, dude. It's not that
Yeah.
fucking challenging.
Yeah. I mean,
Make hits.
hell, I remember lane nights at your apartment there when we'd hook up 4 of the Xboxes and just go to town, have all sorts of people doing all sorts of weird shit on Halo 2 and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some
And
fun
I'm
ass
still
times.
that guy. And I'm still that guy. Like, look at a death grenade. I'm still gonna fucking brag about it. Yeah, you got the kill, but I got a revenge kill from beyond the grave. Fuck you, asshole.
Those were always great for the simple fact of it's like, okay, person's been like hunting me down, killing me the entire time, and then you like throw a grenade, but they kill you, and then you stick them with the grenade. It's like, yeah screw you. Haha, got you anyways.
You know, thinking about it just a little bit more. You know, if they did a thing like Perfect Dark, where the bots had personalities, that would also be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because like the judge, whenever the judge bot was in Perfect Dark, he always tried to make sure. Basically, he would always attack the person in the lead
Yep.
to keep it balanced.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
it
yeah.
was, you know, like if you wanted to do that, like give them personalities, like
Oh, hell yeah.
Pac-Man kind of Miss Pac-Man kind of thing. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. I'd be cool with that.
That would be freaking awesome because at that
Yeah.
point, you not only have the different personalities of bots you can throw in, but you could, I would hope at least, throw in different difficulties for each of those bots as well.
Right.
So, a lot of potential, a lot of questions still to come on that front for certain.
I did. So one of my buddies has been playing and did play not last weekend, the weekend before, maybe the one before. I don't know. But he said it was really fun. It felt like Halo. And again, we're also talking the other slight variance here is that unlike every other Halo game, this is free to play multiplayer.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you probably should try to lean a little bit more into average scrub Joe,
Mhm.
um, because there is going to be a lot of people coming in the door
Yep.
for $0, and then there's going to be that churn. But you want to still get people to continue to play out of those new people coming in the door,
Mhm.
right? That
Oh
balance
yeah.
is actually very difficult, like in my opinion.
And one thing I would love, potentially for us to try doing sometime, is do a even if it's just like for a part of, say, the talk show some night when it's actually released, do a community night.
Oh yeah, I'd be down.
You, me, whoever we can grab from our audiences, have them all jump in and let's just run around and shoot each other in the face for like half hour, 45 minutes, hour, whatever we want.
6 hours.
Well, I was gonna say for at least part of the time, and then do some news for the other part. The whole time, yeah, that works too.
Well, I will issue a generalized challenge. I have not played in a very long time, but I will issue a generalized challenge. Bring it on, fucking nerds. I have been playing Halo for fucking ever, and I am good. Like, I might not be the best, but I am good. I am above average. And,
So,
and I always love that game.
so in other words, apparently the gauntlet has been thrown down.
Mm-mm.
Don't make him taunt you a second time.
Yeah, there will be tea bags, and it will happen.
Oh, fun, fun.
Um, The other thing that I wanted to mention briefly while talking about Halo was interesting idea on the radar. The radar now only shows people when they are fast moving,
Ugh.
um, which is interesting. I don't really know. They didn't exactly clarify what that meant either.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if that implies movement things or sprinting or using a sword charge. You know what I'm saying? When you're I
Yeah.
don't know what that means.
Yeah. From the article I read on this, as far as the radar only picking up fast movement, you could walk, quote unquote, and it wouldn't pick you up. Now,
Interesting.
if that meant, because I remember in the original one, the way to go around the radar picking you up is you could either be standing but moving excessively slow, or just crouch and move that way.
Yeah, which
Um,
was excessively slow.
well, it wasn't your full hitbox size is the thing there. Um, so the thing now becomes a question of, okay, if walking gets around it, what about the sprinting?
Right.
They didn't answer that. Shooting your gun does trigger it though.
Yeah.
So it's seeming like it's gone from pure motion to like audio, maybe. Because I could see sprinting triggering it because you're like clump 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 clump, and gunfire triggering it. So it's like, okay, you obviously have gunfire going off. So maybe it's gone from motion to audio, which kind of seems a little bit of a backward step, to be honest, for
It
that
just
game.
doesn't feel like Halo, right?
That too.
Because in Rainbow Six Siege, when you're full sprinting, you can hear that shit
Oh yeah,
from a mile.
yeah.
If you're walking, it's quiet. If you're crouching, it's like dead silent.
Hmm.
But then if you're crawling, again, it makes a ton of noise. It's like your bags and your person are hitting the ground or whatever. Um, so I don't hate the idea. I want to see more about the implementation. Plus, um, I've never really been huge as a radar guy. I mean, I will flick my eyes there like I don't know, once every 5-10 seconds. Like if there's a down second, but I'm not like flicking my eye back and forth the whole time
Hunting
during a
purely
gun
by
battle.
radar.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I don't know how much this is gonna affect me or my gameplay, but I would like to know more details.
Okay.
Um and I think this is another one of those things where 343 they know to listen to like the community.
Yeah.
So if everyone hates it, maybe it'll just get changed because these are just ones and zeros that we're flipping.
Right. The other thing though is if this is a thing that is going to stay, what's the purpose of crouching?
I bet there
It
won't be any.
well, I mean that's
Hitbox size.
yeah, but even then, okay, the purpose of crouching before was if you crouch walk, then you get around the radar.
Right.
But now it's like if walking gets around the radar, then why am I crouching? It's not like they're going to add in a whole bunch of like half height pieces of cover all over the place. Because at that point they're literally just going around and saying, "Hey, look, here's Halo, except we basically flipped everything that you know upside down, and it's a whole new game. Enjoy." And
Yeah.
they're going to lose more people at that point if they do that.
Yeah,
So
I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think that we'll be more surprised because again, we still have what, like 4 months until this game comes out, and all these things are very tunable,
yeah,
easy things. So I don't see that happening.
yeah.
But who knows?
Plus,
I'm interested to see.
I was gonna say, plus realistically, I would imagine at the moment a lot of these features tweaks that they're doing as far as like the radar, the bots, all sorts of things like that. It's literally okay. Here's the actual core play game code, and then here's like the new map. Try that this weekend. Okay, nope, they didn't like that. Pull that out. Here's a different bot difficulty. Try that. Nope, and like literally have it be a switch that they can flip in their deployment scripts as far as okay, throw this in, nope, pull it out, so that way they're not literally going in changing huge chunks of the code. They're just working on this little bit, and then okay, add this into the deployment code for this weekend. Okay, there we go, we're trying it. What do people like about it? What do people hate about it? Go from there. So
I'm gonna pee real quick. Are you cool with that?
sure. Unfortunately, also talking about the bots got well, nope, you're gone. So much for that. Blue, fuck yeah, I'm down. Where do I get to shoot people in the face? Face game. That would be some point in time when it comes, when Halo Infinite is released, or at least in open beta. Because I want to say at the moment right now, they're doing closed betas, and even then, I think it's like weekends only. So yeah, probably not going to be able to see that anytime soon for the moment. And also the other fun thing with Halo Infinite, as we pointed out, free to play. Sounds expensive? No, free to play. As far as what platforms it'll be on, that is a whole nother question. Although that just piqued my Halo Infinite release date 2021. Well, there's nice narrowing down of that. Okay. Just because I'm curious, Microsoft Store, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Not surprised about that. Okay. Wait, what? Halo Infinite on Steam?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, it's gonna be on PC. And that's the last thing that Microsoft said is that it was gonna be available on Steam.
Oh.
Super cool, actually.
Now, okay, here's my question as far as it being on Steam. Because I just did a quick search as far as release date and platforms it's going to be on. No surprise, it's going to be on PC and the Xbox. Is it going to
day one?
Yeah, is it going to be? Well, it's also free to play, so
well, the multiplayer.
Yeah. Is it going to be cross-platform PC to Xbox?
Probably not.
Okay, I kind of
it's the controller issue, unless it's an option where they can be like, would you like to be involved in class platform? There's no way they're just going to lump that on everybody.
That's true. Yeah. And if they did do it as a option, do you want to be in cross platform or not?
Right.
That would actually be very cool of them. From both perspectives.
Yeah. That's what Smite does. Basically you opt in or out.
Yeah. But unfortunately, talking about the radar there, got the last of the items that I had. So, do you have any others that you
I do.
have?
I do, in fact. Two things. One, this isn't really like a big one or anything, but Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, that game is on PlayStation 4.
Yep.
The sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, got delayed until 2022. Early 2022, but
Okay.
that's all that was said.
Well,
Not a
good.
huge
Go on.
Oh, not a huge deal, you know. I mean, and if a game gets delayed, let it get delayed. Don't anyone
Yeah.
ever get butthurt about it. Just we're all adults. Just take it on the chin. Okay, they're trying to make your game better. If there is a delay, there is a reason for it. So you know,
Yeah.
just keep that in mind for the rest of your lives.
Plus, on top of it, the simple fact of we all have backlogs of games
Oh
that
my
stretch
god.
from here to the moon.
Yep.
Pick a game in your damn backlog and play it for the meantime.
Literally, you could make a percentile chart. I'm sure most of us could make a percentile chart. Roll two 10-sided dice, whatever it hits, you go 35.
That's what
35,
we're
boom, it
playing.
was
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah.
I'm playing Undertale. It's been forever. I bought it for $2. Fucking go play that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, exactly.
stop making it a big thing. Okay, and then this one was for the PC crowd because I saw this today. There had been like almost no announcement about it. But I love this fucking concept so much that like now I'm kind of hype on it, especially because of like this. So, Carrier Command 2 is coming out in August on PC. Carrier Command is a game where you are running an air carrier, like, you know, with jets and shit, and you're literally on the command deck, just like hitting buttons and shit. Like, you literally run like a cargo carrier, basically, a floating cargo carrier. I am way more excited that than I should have any right to be. There was only two screenshots, and it's also done by Microsoft, so it's like dead to rights a simulation
Okay.
of yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was like, oh shit, this is coming out literally this month. I'm like, I'm probably gonna pick this up because I would love to just like poke buttons, send missiles in places, and like have big turret guns go off. That sounds awesome.
Because I was gonna say, I was like, okay, so it's yeah, simulation
Aircraft
thing.
carrier
Yeah.
sim.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
interesting. I'm wondering now how true to form they're gonna
It's the
be on
second
that.
one. It's the second one. That's what all I can think of. So they made a simulation of being on an aircraft carrier on the first one, and that was, I think, several. I'll just put it that way, several years ago. So this is gonna be cool, just walking around like I don't know. Is there gonna be like dudes on the
Hmm.
deck where I can be like, hey, we're going more west, or fucking you arm those missiles, like you know, put the fucking the jets on the runway, like
Well, I mean, I'm saying I'm curious as to how true to form this is actually like true to life this is actually going to be, because the simple fact of some of those systems are like
right.
secret, top secret, you need clearance to like see them kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, is Microsoft just going to be like, oh, we're just going to like throw shit at the wall and hopefully it sticks kind of a thing? Or well, actually, no, that would be the first one that they did. This one's probably like, we're taking that shit and now we're polishing it that stuck to the wall.
Right.
So,
And my assumption is that it might just be aircraft carriers that already have come out, like any other simulation,
true.
you know? So it won't be anything that's like, you know, under wraps,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
gonna be just aircraft carriers that you can go and like, cause shit, even when I was a kid, we went to Myrtle Beach. No, that can't be right. I don't know where the hell we went, but I actually like walked around in a submarine and an aircraft carrier. So I'm assuming it's
Yeah.
literally just a one-to-one copy.
Yeah.
Because it did say simulation in the title too, which is another reason why I was like, I'm just gonna be pushing so many buttons that when I get in there and be like, oh yeah, all these buttons are getting pushed. Like, at least the first time.
Next thing Alex hears is nuclear launch detected.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
and,
wait, what?
and it's like house number detected. Oh, come on, this isn't good. Like, I've now nuked Uruguay. Like, that's not cool. Although they don't
Oops.
keep nukes on aircrafts, so it's fine.
True, true.
Subs is where they do
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I thought that was cool. I am, I'm totally down for that. And speaking on the Microsoft thing, uh, Microsoft Flight Simulator just had a patch come out a couple of days ago that apparently makes it run much more smoothly now.
No.
Because essentially, you're basically flying on Google Earth in that game, and I guess it was kind of like drawing too much, like,
Yeah.
yeah, back and forth. So, but the new patch apparently it's supposed to be much, much better of an experience. And
That's
I will
cool.
be picking that game up soon.
Okay, cool, cool.
I like Sims.
Savage apparently uses darts to figure out what he's playing out of his backlog.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we all have some system, some that we devise to play games from our backlogs. Some of the games that we have may or may not even make it to the backlog because of either we've played them and they're just horrible, or yeah, they're just not good and never should have been made in the first place. But whatever.
I also for that note, sometimes they're online only and you lose your internet like I did today and was like, guess I'm starting up a new game of Undertale. Like, it's the only thing that doesn't need to be online.
That's true too.
Fuck it.
That's true too.
All right.
You got things like that sometimes. That or worse yet, it's like a online game, and if you have online at that point, cool, great. But you forget the password to log in.
Yeah.
It's like, shit.
Quick question. I woke up the other day and this was just on my board. If you were going to be eaten, how would you want to be cooked? Like by another human, obviously. Your cats don't care. Like, it was on my board the other day. Not specifically about you. It was just to clarify. It wasn't specifically about you, but I came out of the kitchen and I was getting a glass of milk and I looked over and it just said, if you were going to be murdered and eaten by humans, how would you want to be cooked? And that was all it was. And I was like, I must have been drunk last night. So how would you like to be cooked and eaten?
Just out of curiosity, have you been reading the book How to Serve Man?
It's a cookbook. It is a cookbook. No, I guess I was just thinking about it, and then I started. I must have been thinking about it when I was drunk, and then when I was sober, I decided I would like to be sous vide or full pit barbecue, like where they'd have to see my face, like they'd split me down the middle like a pig, and then like do that flattening thing. So that way they'd have to like see my face, and I'd be like disappointed, I'd have that like look of like, come on, guy, like.
Yeah, I mean the full pit barbecue thing though, yeah, it's interesting.
Top tier.
Yeah, yeah. Barbecue. Make sure I'm dead first. Well, yeah, one would hope.
Fair.
What did I come into? You came into the random question, Brand Muffin, of if you were to be eaten, how would you like to be cooked?
Yes.
That is what
weird, and I just would like to know how everyone would like to be eaten.
That is what he asked me. The full pit barbecue, yeah. Rotisserie wouldn't be bad too. Nice like long slow cook there. Just again, make sure totally dead beforehand, please.
Okay, well, yeah, that was kind of implied.
Hey, there are some people out there that
My thought when I was sober was sous vide because it sounds like the most fancy way to be, because you cut, butchered, vacuum sealed, put in a really slow water bath. Like I feel like I'm really being utilized at that point,
Yeah, but at that point, it's kind of like, okay, like as far as being sous vide, what else would be thrown in the bag though at that point though too? Because
that's on the cannibals, right? Like whatever.
Because I mean, if you're going with the full pit barbecue, you get some of that smoky flavor in there. Whereas sous vide, it's just okay, it's cooked meat. Yeah. I mean,
it's true. And literally, I could even like maybe ask to my hands get hog-tied like with a middle finger on the ends if I get like barbecued. So I literally be flipping off everyone that comes up. They're like, "This is delicious," but I'm getting a huge guilt trip every bite. Like that'd be kind of nice.
Uh,
All right, so I guess we're done here. Hey, looking to be my 50th follower. I'm on 49.
and Blue Spoon says, I hope you choke on my meat. Oh my.
Blue 100% agree. Would agree. It's very fantastic. See, we should always do these kind of interactions.
Yes, yes. All these fun random questions.
Well, the other one that was on the board was, what's your favorite bite of the cookie? If it's a warm, brand new cookie, what is your favorite bite? There's basically three that I
Ooh.
thought of. There's the original bite, the first bite, there is the second bite, and then there is the third and final bite of a cookie. You know, let's just say we're talking about an average cookie. For me, if you'd like to know my answer, I would say final bite because that's also followed with like the milk chaser. You know what I'm saying? Where you get the last edgy, delicious, crispy ones, and then that.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
I would kind of have to agree with you as far as the final bite, except for the simple fact of when you're taking a bite of cookies, of a cookie. Now, again, we're talking just like average sized cookies, say you can eat it in 3 bites.
Yep.
Or when you eat it, are you going like, okay, take a bite and then like, because for me, the best bite of the cookie or the best part of the cookie, I would say, would be the bite that has the most of the center of the cookie in it. Because
Part.
yeah, exactly. So like, would you take a bite trying to go off to a side and the second bite being off to the side again, so that way you leave the most of it, the center, for that third bite?
We'll just say that the center bite would be the second one then.
Okay. See, I mean, because yeah, the center, but then like you mentioned, the milk chaser afterwards, and we're not even getting into what kind of cookie. Ignoring that for now.
Yeah, I did kind of think chocolate chip because it's like the most traditional cookie here in America at the very least.
True.
That is what I thought. And the middle one is what he say.
Savage is sitting here. I hope I give you the runs.
Savage, I bet you would give me the runs, you son of a bitch. You give me diarrhea out of spite, dude. That's rude.
And Bran Muffin says the first bite.
First bite, or first bite is very quality.
Or what kind of milk?
I mean, I guess whatever milk you're into. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put, because some people don't even like milk. They're like an almond milk person or whatever. So yeah,
true.
Whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Me personally, 2%.
We've gone with 1.
So, oh yeah, one's still okay.
Yeah,
one's still okay. Skim is just gray water.
Yeah,
it's just yeah. I'll just thank you, appreciate it. I'll just put some ice cubes in my fucking.
Prefer almond milk, but not with cookies. Okay,
that makes sense. Almond milk with cereal sometimes is really good, depending on the cereal. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad we ended this on a nice culinary note.
Yeah, the culinary notes of how would you like to be cooked and eaten, and then
what dessert would you like, and what part of that dessert would you like best? This is why many people don't like hanging out with me, by the way, Rich.
I can't imagine why.
Not at all weird or annoying. All right. Well, I'm gonna go say goodbye to these turds, and I will meet you in the fucking room, and we'll be done with this.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you guys, all of you, Muffin, Blue, Savage. Thank you guys for showing up and hanging out. Really, really do appreciate that. And I will hopefully see you guys soon.
Alrighty. Like he said, guys, that's going to be it for us tonight. We covered all sorts of topics, from the horrible to the not so great but still good to the really kind of cool. Either way, I'm also gonna say thank you very much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me, and well, me and Alex at this point. And I hope to see you guys again in the future. Playing Halo sounds great. Oh heck yeah! And we will definitely be having to do that at some point in time, especially when it comes out. We'll definitely have to figure out some night when hopefully it's a slow week for gaming news. If you guys want to jump in, play some Halo Infinite, going to be a free multiplayer, and from what I can tell, it's going to be available on Steam, as well as Xbox Game Pass. So check that out if you have it, and we'll have to all hang out together, play some, shoot each other in the face, whatever. And in the meantime, I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll be doing a raid in Destiny 2. And